Alright guys, welcome back to Our World Outdoors. So along the same lines as our normal videos have been lately, we're working on how to help you guys dehydrate foods using easier ingredients to combine, stuff that's a little more pre-made so you're not going from homemade or scratch all the way to the dehydrator. So my beautiful wife has come up with a totally new recipe that I think you're really going to enjoy. So honey?
We're going to do chicken curry, and we're going to be able to take that in the back country with us. But it's only going to take 3 ingredients.
Now, when she first came to me with this idea, she has made something like this at home from scratch before, and it was delicious. So the thought of being able to have that after a long day with high miles really appealed to me. So now we're going to show you how to combine everything and how simple this is, because it will blow your mind. So honey?
So our first ingredient that we're going to use is canned chicken. This always dehydrates much better than if you cook it from scratch. So nice and easy, already cooked, ready to go.
Now it's also been drained, but the reason why is because inside the chicken has already been processed down. You don't have to manually do it yourself.
And this is 2 of the large cans. For the sauce, we're going to use Patax. Now this comes in several different flavors. Any of those will work, just pick whichever one you like the best.
And I will put a link in the description box below so you guys know which one we use and where you can get it.
And then thirdly, whenever we get ready to rehydrate it, we're going to have some minute rice in there, and that's going to be our rice. So, let's get started. First thing you're going to want to do is obviously drain these, which we've already done. Then you're going to put them in your bowl. This is going to require absolutely no cooking before you dehydrate. And now what you want to do is break this apart as small as you possibly can. Smaller you get it, the better it will dehydrate.
So just taking a fork and crushing it is simple enough. The more you do break it down, it literally will dehydrate better, and it also get covered in the sauce better. So once she gets done lightly forking it here, and don't go crazy, just do the best you can.
Show them that one.
Yep, I'm going to show you the difference. That is your start. That is your finish. Now, as you can see, it's all broke down. It's kind of fluffed almost. You're fluffing it up and breaking the proteins even more. The chicken's already processed, but they kind of re-stick it back to make it chunks. We're trying to break those chunks down. This will greatly speed up your dehydrating process.
Just going to get these all mashed up here a little bit. So, you want to explain to them what we do with our parchment paper on our dehydrator?
So, when we're getting ready to dehydrate, we don't have the trays for our dehydrator. So what we do is we cut sheets of parchment paper in circles, put them on the trays as liners. It's a low-cost way to do it. We have found that spending the money, though, on a higher quality parchment paper will actually pay off. We used to use the cheaper stuff, but as time went on, we kind of learned this is better. So now that she's got it all forked up, you can see that's a heck of a portion of chicken. So for us, on a high mileage dinner day, this would make 4 servings, just so you guys know. But it easily could be broke down into more servings by adding more rice. So next step, honey?
So next step is we're just going to simply add our sauce to our chicken and mix it through. Pour that in there.
Yep.
Make sure we get all of it out.
I'm going to go ahead and hold this up when you're done so they can kind of see. That's the sauce we're using. Now, this sauce, a 1/4 cup, is 50 calories. So if you're actually trying to figure this all out, protein and all that, that's not a bad calorie count for a sauce, especially for something like curry. Now, thick Malaysia curry sauce, simmer sauce. And once you open it and start mixing it in, the smell is going to overtake everything, and it smells so good. When you first open chicken out of a can, it's like, eh. But once that gets into it, you're like, ooh.
There you go. I got it all mixed in good.
So she's thoroughly mixed it in. I'm trying not to spill it here, because as you can see, it's running down the hill. Now, we're going to actually get it on the trays so we can dehydrate it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this out of our way. We're going to take our tray,
You just want to spread this as thin as you can. Don't worry about it sticking to the parchment paper and not coming up. Trust me, whenever you get this dehydrated, it's going to come right up.
Yep. Especially if you're using a higher quality parchment paper. Now normally we make a giant mess doing this, but it seems like my wife is trying very hard today to not make a mess.
Me? You normally make the mess.
You ain't gonna blame me. No. So, let me know down in the comments, guys, if you think after watching our different dehydrator videos, who comes up with the better recipes, Missy or me? Because I think a lot of times people think that, like, a lot of my good ideas are hers. And actually, I'm the cook in the house as of recently.
He is the cook in the house normally.
So,
but this chicken curry is going to give him a run for his money.
I will give you that. If this comes out as good as I think it's going to compared to when you make it home, at home, that's going to be hard to beat out on the trail.
And it's a lot better. I mean, we're going to get 4 servings out of this, and
those are monster servings.
And you normally pay, I don't know, $10 for
$10
one of
now
the normal
for
backpacking
meals minimum.
So, and this is less than $10 for the entire thing.
Yep. And like we said, if you wanted to cheapen it down some more, you could really make this easily into 6 servings, 8 servings by increasing the rice amount in it. So she's going to squeeze the rest of this onto this second sheet here. And
Almost
trying to make a mess. I seen it. But
you didn't see nothing.
This is definitely a game of being as easy as possible now, because I can tell you, you're watching real time as we just bust this out. So what does it take? 5 minutes? Okay, so you can see now, what did this take? 5 minutes prepping? That's nothing. This is simple, easy, efficient, and when you get going here, you could do double this amount if you wanted to have a bunch of this sitting in the freezer ready for trips. We actually have so much built up in the freezer, we can't do all 4 trays because we're running out of room.
But we like variety, so doing 2 at a time is kind of nice for us.
So
Alrighty.
We will take these. First of all, show you. That is the finished product, and it's actually running down the hill on me, so let's turn it. We will actually get these on the dehydrator, get them dehydrated, come back, let you know how long it took in ours to dehydrate it, and we will also do the infamous and ever fun taste test. The best part of doing these videos for you guys. So we will see you guys in the morning. Boom, and just like that, we're back. 12 hours later, dehydrator's done. Honey, what do you think so far?
I think it's turning out really good.
I really do too, and it actually dehydrated quite well. And as I'm messing with it and rehydrate a little for us to taste test, of course, it was extremely easy to rehydrate, and it did it really fast, so that's pretty good. Now, honey, let's go with it. What do we do next?
Alright, we are going to take it off, and you want to make sure that it's totally dehydrated, and you can tell, because, here, you might want to do it because you can get closer.
So that's what it looks like. Now, we did pick these up and flip them over, so you're going to hear a crunch. That's the biggest thing, is you'll feel it and you won't feel moisture, but then it kind of crunches. Now, it's important to know that these will secrete some grease even after they're already done dehydrating. So you can always stop, let it cool down completely, and then see if it cracks like that. If it does, that means it's done. But it might feel a little greasy until it fully comes down to room temperature. So, at this point, the best thing I can tell you is when you hear that crackle sound, it's done. Now for us, it was 12 hours. It may be more or less for you guys depending upon the temperature of your unit, the humidity, etc. So now, honey, what do we do next?
So you can either divide this into the portions that you want, but we usually just put it into one baggie now. And we're simply just going to pick it up and throw it in the bag. When we get ready to use it, we will divide this into 4 portions, and we'll put a ½ a cup of minute rice in it.
Yep, now that's a full-on, like, heavy dinner. For most normal people, that's like a big day of hiking, and or backpacking and you're going to eat a huge meal at dinner time, that might be too much for other people. So kind of try it the way you want. If nothing else, err on the smaller side. Bring yourself like extra rice or maybe mashed potatoes, because I plan on making a watery version of this over mashed potatoes too. I think that'd be really good. But basically all you do is bag it up, and then we're going to store this in the freezer because it will keep better, as well as the freshness will stay better. But as you can see, it made 2 full pans, and then if you look at the size of this, even if I give it a little crush, look at how much that's already made. Now, that's going to be basically a full bag, so you can see why we say it'd be 4 big servings. So, as my wife puts this back in here, we've already taken the time to rehydrate some. Now, we rehydrated this so like you'd lay it on top of rice and it could freestand. You could go ahead and thin this down some, adding extra water to make it a little more soupy. That way the flavor goes through your entire rice bowl, if you wanted that chicken curry flavor all the way through your rice. But just to give you an idea what it looks like, as you can clearly see, it's fully rehydrated. The nice thing about this is this is not going to take long to rehydrate at all, especially if you have an insulated bag to put it in or an insulated jar, which is what we like to use. Now, the biggest thing you have to know is what it tastes like.
Oh yeah, that flavor comes out really good.
Wow, that's strong flavor. Alright guys, so a lot of our recipes we tell you to over season, because what happens is during the dehydrating process, it seems to lose some flavor. This didn't lose nothing. It is strong, guys, and I love it. I want to go and sit down after a long day of backpacking or getting to camp. Why are you sitting there trying to look at like you're going to take my bite?
I'm not going to take your bite. You can have your bite. Because I'm taking all this on my upcoming backpacking trip.
You talk too much. But really, I like to get to camp after a long day, and I want something that has some flavor. I don't want to be eating something that tastes like cardboard. That will do it. That's got my nose even starting to run a little bit. So that is amazing. Great job, honey. I will say that this is an outstanding one. I won't say it's better than like my Sloppy Joes, but I will say this is a completely different flavor than what we're normally used to out on the trail, which will make it amazing. It's always great to change it up and have new flavors and new variety. So, what do you think overall?
You can also make some alterations to this and make it vegetarian.
The sauce in that is vegetarian as it is, but it's not...
It's not vegan.
Not vegan because it has milk in it, right?
Yes.
So, check out the other sauce lines by that Pate or Patak company. I will put the link to that company's jar that we used in the description box.
Flavor's awesome.
With that said, look at the size of that bag, guys. Look at that. Alright, a few bucks to make that. And that will easily do a bunch of meals. And this is only like $1 or $2. So take the time, make your own chicken curry dehydrated. And with that said, and if you haven't already, and I don't know why you wouldn't have by now, come on. Go down, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Make sure you like. Let us know what you think in the comments and if you made this. And honey,
we will see you up the trail.
I don't know what you think you're doing. You better give me that. That's mine.
This is for my trip with Gretchen and Brenda.
Really? You're going to save me some.
This much.
Really? It's never good when a woman says this much.